Last week we talked about how my discipline has sort of changed and like I'm having to cook food on my own. I'm gonna have to look out for myself more in general. And this week is an even better example of that. I've had a plethora of things come up that have made my life a little more complicated. It required me to take control of the driver's seat and really steer myself in a direction to get some things done because it's all on me. I never recognized it was all on me more so than this past week. This past week has been a challenge for me. I really had to not grow up in a lot of ways. I've always been capable of this kind of thing, but I've really had to just, again, take control of the reins and really direct the ship. Earlier this week, my car broke down. Now, when I say my car broke down, it did, but it's a little more nuanced than that. I was making a turn. Let's start back at the beginning. It's Friday, September 9th, 9/9. I am working a high school football game, and I make my way to the high school football game. It just so happens to be one of the biggest high school football games in the state for that Friday. Cathedral High School versus Bishop Chatard High School at Bishop Chatard. The Battle of the Catholics, a big battle in the state of Indiana. I produced this broadcast. I was the one doing the scoreboard, rolling commercials, doing all this stuff, and it went well. We didn't have a clock cam, but we were able to manage with that. Things went all right. Everything was pretty smooth until I went to leave the event. So I'm at the light. I'm the first car at the light. I'm sitting there in my car with my turn signal on, about to make my turn onto the road. I'm making my turn, and as I'm about halfway through my turn, I feel a pop in my car, and it becomes extremely hard to turn. And then a few seconds later, my battery light came on. As soon as I felt the pop, I was like, I don't know what that is. That's surely not a good thing. And then I tried to turn or finish my turn, and it was very hard. So my power steering went out. And when this happened, I'm surprised I didn't panic that bad. I panicked, but I didn't lose my mind completely. Now, typically when I'm in a place of stress or a position of particular stress or an event happens that brings a lot of stress on me, I get angry. That's my first gut instinct, is to get angry. And I have been known to punch things, slam my hands into things. Never broken my hand through anger, but I have broken my hand before. Anyways, but I typically get angry. Now, when I was sitting in the Target parking lot, I wasn't that angry. I was more sad and frustrated and afraid, I guess, in some ways. Because I had no idea what had just happened. And I had to take some equipment from the broadcast back to a studio to return the equipment. And I knew I just needed to do that first. But I had no gas. And when I say I had no gas, I had 3 miles until E in my car, because I was like, I'm gonna go to the game and I'm gonna get gas on the way home and it'll be fine. So as I'm sitting there in the Target parking lot trying to keep myself together, I'm recognizing that I need gas. So I think to myself, okay, you can sit here, you can cry, you can be angry, you can be sad, you can get furious, you can do nothing about it and just sit here and be angry. Or you can go get gas and take another step forward, because I needed gas for my car to go literally anywhere. So I got gas, and then I was like, okay, what can I realistically do from here? And from there, I decided, okay, I'm gonna do my best to take this equipment back. If I get my car there and I get the equipment back, at least I return the equipment and my car can sit in the parking lot for a day or two until I get it figured out. So I left the gas station, drove up the road a little farther, and then made my first turn right onto 71st Street. And as I made that turn, I had to go obviously extremely slow because the wheel was fighting me. There's no power steering, so I had to crank the wheel all the way around, going very slowly to make sure I could make the turn on time. I make the turn, and as I accelerate out of the turn, the acceleration is not there. It is, but it's like choppy. The car fights me sort of. So I then pull off the road into a Fifth Third Bank parking lot, and I cry. I cried for about 10 seconds in the Target parking lot, and I cried again in the Fifth Third Bank parking lot because I just couldn't take it. I already had a serious issue pop with my car just seconds ago, and now potentially another issue. Granted, they're likely tied together, but another issue. I do my best to collect myself, calm myself down, and assess the situation, see where I should go from here. I'm at a Fifth Third Bank, a pretty safe location, and across the street is a bar with its pretty pop, and it was a Friday night, so there was a decent amount of people there, and I could hear the hustle and bustle from across the street. I wasn't sure what I should do. I had thought about approaching the bar and seeing if anybody could help me out or had any advice or anything like that. I didn't do that, but I ultimately ended up calling my dad. He didn't answer his phone. I called my brother just to let him know because I'm staying with him. He answered his phone, but he couldn't really help me. He was at work. I called my mom. She gave me some advice, and ultimately I decided to take an Uber home and I took the car, I took my equipment and my backpack and everything in an Uber home. So this was a wild situation and something that came out of nowhere. I had no real precursors to this issue. I know like I was due for an oil change coming up soon, but there's nothing really like overly obvious that there was something majorly wrong with my car. So this kind of came out of nowhere and caught me off guard. So I had to deal with it. And I think all things considered, I handled myself pretty well on the night. I did what I could. I was patient, I was calm, and I worked through the process and tried to come up with the best solution. And I did an all right job. I got home safely and on the same night, and my car was safely stranded there at the bank for the next few days. Luckily, the bank was nice enough to let me keep it there because it was already the weekend, and I had it towed on Sunday. I've had to really grow up in this whole process. It's really kind of maybe, again, I keep saying it, but take control of the reins. That's really what it feels like. Every time I've had a car problem before, I've really had my dad help me out, or even my dad just kind of take care of it all because I didn't really know how things work. But I'm 22 years old now. I'm 22. So I got to take care of this on my own. And I did. It took some work. I did some research. I called some places around the area. I thought, what's the best place to probably take it? So I took it to a dealership just because I knew they wouldn't try and rip me off. So I took it to a dealership. They ran some diagnostics and they gave me a whole test and some results. And it was way too much money, super expensive. I knew the repairs were probably going to be expensive either way, but very expensive. So I then pulled some repair shops around the area to see what they think and what their options were, what they were thinking, what they were going to suggest. And ultimately, after pulling several different locations and asking them what their estimates were, some people gave me some varying numbers. Some people weren't even able to give me numbers. Some people gave me a pretty good detailed estimate. From there, I made an educated decision, like an adult, and got my car taken to, I think, the best place possible for it to be taken to, where it's sitting now. It is a car repair place in Indianapolis, and it's been carted around Indianapolis several times. Luckily, my insurance is nice enough to cover the tow, so I didn't have really any stress on that front. That would have been a major stress if I had, say, another like $300 in tow prices, but insurance covered it, so bless, appreciate it. It's crazy, man. This I didn't need this right now. I don't need this right now. In fact, I have 4 separate gigs coming up in the next 4 days that I have to work. I have a soccer game on Wednesday, a soccer game on Thursday, a football game an hour away on Friday, and then another football game an hour away on Saturday. I currently have no car, but it is at a repair shop where they are currently evaluating it and estimating it. I think I even received a text while I've been filming this about what's going to happen with it. I'm just waiting to hear back and make a decision from there. I think, honestly, I'm pretty proud of myself in the way I've handled this. My dad has also expressed that he's proud of me for the way I've handled this, and that feels good, of course, because he's a part of this problem. In a way, I'm an adult, so I should be financially responsible for this, but I think my dad is kind enough to help me out a little bit with whatever costs come my way, so that's good. And he's proud of me in the way I handled it, so that also felt good. But really, this is just where my life has come to. This is really just the stage I've came to in my life where I am in charge now. I am the one that's making the calls, calling the shots. I'm the one that's driving the ship. So it's really up to me to make sure these things happen, because if I didn't make these calls and do anything, my car would still be sitting at Fifth Third's Bank, and my dad probably would be hustling and bustling from an hour and a half away to try and get my car moved, when in reality, it should be me handling it. And I have handled it. It is a wild situation. I'm glad it's over with, and I realize I've just simply talked all about this instance and my car problems in this episode, but this is the most pressing issue in my life right now, 1,000%. So, this is what we're talking about this week, and this is really all I've had to say for this week. I just kind of ran you through the issue because I don't know what else to share. If this happens to you, take care of your shit, bro, because it's on you. That's what I've learned. I have support and people that are willing to help me out, but it's on me. I gotta make it happen. I gotta call the people. I gotta get the numbers. I gotta run the metrics. I gotta do the diagnostics. I gotta do the whole thing. And realistically, at the end of the day, my life's not that bad. My life is not that bad. It's not like I got my girlfriend knocked up and have a baby on the way or anything like that. That's not a situation I'm in. So really, it's tit for tat. It really could be miles worse. I'm physically okay. My car is physically okay. It just has some inner damage, and I didn't wreck anything. I didn't cause any property damage, and I'm still just a single guy figuring it out, freelancing for fun, and have nothing really to worry about. So the only thing I have to worry about is paying this expense, and ultimately I will be able to pay it. Really, this is all on me. And I want to step up and pay it all, but your boy's broke. So it's not that easy. Okay, my car broke down. It's very expensive to get repaired. After getting it towed to 2 different places, I think it's now in a place where it can get repaired. Hopefully, we will see. It's wild, yo. This is life. Life comes at you fast. Can't do shit about it. You just gotta adapt with it. And it's stressful. But again, just thankful. Homeboy doesn't have a kid on way. Everything is going easy breezy for me. Appreciate it. That is all for this week's episode of the Procrastinated Podcast. A quick one. Just me talking about this. That's my life. This is my podcast. These things happen and I do what I want. I hope you enjoy. I've been your host, Matthew Stein. You have been fantastic as always, and I will see you in next week's episode of the Procrastinated Podcast. Peace out, everybody. Take care of your cars, because it's not fun when they break. Okay, bye.